Welcome back, everyone. Movie guy Will Meyer joining us now to talk about what's big in the box office this weekend. And I think there's one movie that kind of everybody's talking about. It stands out from the rest. Fast and the Furious number 8.
Number 8.
Number 8.
The eighth installment in the adrenaline-fueled franchise. Yeah.
Usually when we get to like a number 8, like things are starting to
fizzle out,
fall off the rails a little bit.
This series is fascinating to me. You know, a few movies ago it looked like it was completely out of gas, and now it's come roaring back to life. You know, the last one is in the 10 highest-grossing movies ever, and this one looks like it's going to break records as well. It's a film. These past few have sort of, I think, acknowledged their ridiculous nature, and so they just keep making them more and more preposterous. But I think the last couple especially have been pretty entertaining. This is a movie, of course, stars Vin Diesel, Michelle Rodriguez, some newcomers this time. You have Charlize Theron, but you also have Jason Statham, Dwayne Johnson. Those people are back. You know, this is a movie that I think more or less follows the same trajectory as the last couple. It has over-the-top action set pieces. In this movie, there's a chase scene on a glacier where they're outrunning a nuclear missile, so that kind of tells you what this movie's about. But it is really entertaining for the most part. I think there's a handful of laughs here. The writing isn't quite as good as it usually is, but this is a film that, you know, still has some good character moments. I think that Jason Statham and The Rock are the two standouts here. But this movie isn't quite as fun as the last couple for me. I think this movie focuses too much on its really tedious plot. Charlize Theron's at the center of it. She's an amazing actress, but she's given nothing to do in this movie but whisper in an evil voice. Her talents are wasted, and I think that the movie, it tries to be too serious. It tries to be brainy and dramatic. I think that this movie should punch its weight, stick to what it knows, give us mindless escapist entertainment. Don't try to be anything more. When it does do that, it is fun. I think it's a solid entry, not my favorite. I would say 2.5 out of 4 stars.
All right. Moving on to the next one, Land of Mine.
Yeah, this is a movie that most people haven't heard of. I hadn't actually until a few weeks ago. This is a film that, until it was got the Oscar nomination for Best Foreign Language Film. This is a Danish-German film about German teenage POWs who, after World War II, were forced to go to Denmark and remove the thousands of German landmines that their country put there during the war. And so it's a fascinating story. And, you know, Fate of the Furious is a thrilling movie, but this one I think is even more gripping and intense. If you're looking for an adrenaline rush, go see this movie this weekend, because this movie is so captivating, so suspenseful. At times, I almost had to look away, but I just couldn't because it was so gripping. You're just waiting for a landmine to go off at any second during this movie. But it's pretty harrowing stuff. You know, this movie is pretty brutal, but at the same time, it's I think a hopeful movie. It's a movie about forgiveness and compassion. We see this this Danish sergeant who's, you know, obviously has a lot of hatred towards the German people after he's watched his own family suffer, but you see him become sort of compassionate towards these poor kids who have to stare straight into the face of death every day. So really good movie. If anything, it's too hopeful. It's too sentimental. So that's my only complaint, but it's 3.5 out of 4 stars. So,
wow. All right, Zookeeper's Wife, quickly.
Zookeeper's Wife. This is another World War II movie. It stars Jessica Chastain. This is based on a true story about 2 zookeepers who, during World War II, they were able to save hundreds of animals and people and hide them at the Warsaw Zoo. This is a film that's based on a best-selling novel, one that is rife with political drama, with historical drama, but they don't translate that to screen here. This movie does nothing really to elevate itself beyond a conventional Holocaust drama. It's fairly emotionless. There's no passion, no excitement. It does come to life in the final half hour, and Jessica Chastain is good, but this is just the epitome of a mediocre movie. I was disappointed. Could have been a lot better, but I'd say 2 out of 4.
All right. Will Meyer, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.